peace. It's information that I want to share with y'all that I've been learning in class, and then I also decided to take it upon myself to just observe nature as I'm in nature right now and share it with y'all. So basically, I've been learning about the brain in psychology, right? I'm learning about the human brain, or just, the human brain. So neurons are brain cells that make up the brain. Neurons, I wish I could like show y'all a picture right now, but just look it up. Neuron. Look up neurons and like a picture of it, and it looks just like a tree in the wintertime. Looks just like this. The little branches would be called the dendrites. Then like the stem of it, like the body, it would be called the soma, or the cell body. And then this stem going all the way down would be like an axon. It's probably like a bad example. This one's better. The dendrites up there, the branches, the cell body or the soma, and then it goes all the way down like axons. This it's called an axon. And then, you know, the end of the axon right there. This whole thing looks just like a fucking neuron. And the nervous system is made up of neurons. And there are, I believe, I wish I had my notebook. I believe it said it's like 100 billion neurons in the human brain. 100 billion. So they're very microscopic. About 30,000 of them can fit on the end of a pen, like a needle. 30,000 of them. So that's how tiny they are. Like a squid, you know, like a giant squid. They have, you know, a bunch of neurons, but they have two really, really, really big neurons. And they're just like probably the largest neurons that they can find. And that is about the size of like one strand of human hair. So that's how tiny these things are, right? So when you think about neurons are basically, they basically communicate with each other. So you have, like I said, this tree right here, right? Let's see if this probably looks better. This tree right here, right? You have the branches on this tree, and then you have let's say this part right here would be like the cell body, where the nucleus would be, and then you go all the way down. This is the axon, and that's the neuron, right? Same as a tree. But what these trees do, like the dendrites on the neuron, they're used to receive information from other neurons. Then they take that information and process it in the soma, and then it goes down in the axon, and then the axon delivers more information to the next neuron. And the information that they've given you is like, for example, if I smoke some weed right now, and I have THC in my system, now the neurons are communicating with each other, passing down this chemical. Or like, let's say I want to move my hand. Neurons are communicating with each other really, really fast to move my hand, to tell my body, okay, move your hand. And it's also connected to different nerves and shit like that in my body to move certain things in my hands and my arm and all that shit, right? So, yes, they're basically for communication, and they do this by sending electrical signals or impulses. So long story short, right? Let's say I'm gonna get real kind of sciencey, but I'm going somewhere with this information. So hopefully y'all can follow me, and if not, then y'all can probably find a video on YouTube that explains it and shows the process, actually shows the process. But anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all, right? So remember how I said the branches are like the dendrites, and they receive information from other neurons. So like this would be the axon. This long stem here would be the axon. And the axon attaches to different parts of another branch of a neuron. So let's say these two things are neurons. This is the axon, and this is a dendrite on another neuron. So it'll attach, but it won't touch it. It'll just hover over it, do like an electric zap, dead ass. It'd be like zzz, and send chemicals or neurotransmitters to the other neuron. And it'll do this shit like 1 to 10,000 times. Like it'll talk to like 1,000 to 10,000 different neurons in like fast as fuck. Because if I can just move my hand quick as fuck, imagine how fast neurons move, right? So basically, I'm not trying to get too deep into it, just want to give you a basis, right? So it hovers over, sends an electrical zap, sends the electrical zap, sends chemicals or neurotransmitters, and the neurotransmitters and these chemicals, they carry the information. So it sends the information to the other neuron. So with that being said, the other neuron receives these chemicals, aka this information, and then it sends it to the next neuron, the next neuron, next neuron, next neuron, next neuron, right? So I want to compare these neurons to the trees. You have these trees, and I was just like thinking, like, damn, why the fuck do neurons look just like trees? And ever since I learned this information, I've been looking at trees, like trying to compare and see like the connection and similarities and shit like that. And I was like, all right, let me fucking chat GPT this whole. So I chat GPT'd it and I asked it, what the fuck do trees communicate with each other? Is what I was basically asking, right? And come to find out, trees do communicate with each other. Now, I wrote all this stuff down. I had it on my chat GPT, but I needed to have a list so I won't forget shit. Here are 3 ways that they communicate, right? Underground communication, chemical signals in the air, and electrical and root signals. Doesn't that sound like fucking neurons in our brain? But let me get to it, right? So underground communication. It's connected. The trees are connected by a network of underground fungi that links their roots. This network allows trees to share nutrients, water, and even chemical signals with each other. Chemical signals in the neurons, sending chemical signals, aka information, to the next tree. Nutrients to the next tree. That they send nutrients, they send everything. They communicate with each other. They fly. All right. So look, larger trees send nutrients to younger trees or trees in need. That's the underground communication. Now we're talking about the chemical signals in the air. When attacked by insects, trees release airborne chemical signals to warn other nearby trees. These neighboring trees respond by producing defensive chemicals. Defensive chemicals. It's all about the chemical thing. It's not just like, I'm gonna spray Lysol on your face. That kind of chemical. It's dopamine is a chemical. Adrenaline, that's a chemical. Well, it's called something else, but we know about adrenaline. I can't remember the exact name, but endorphins, what's that shit? Melatonin. All of these things are chemicals that our body produces, right? But we can receive chemicals from outside. Shit, I ain't pay for parking in this, so damn. Feel like a park ranger coming in this house. Okay, I'm good. But yeah, let's say it's what's it called? Chemicals. We can receive chemicals from outside things as well, such as nicotine, THC, caffeine. All of these things are chemicals and they react with us. That's why chemical, that's what that is. It's just elements and molecules and things on a smaller scale that's affecting us and all of this kind of things, right? So yeah. Basically, if a tree is attacked by insects, the tree will release airborne chemical signals to warn nearby trees. These neighboring trees respond by producing defensive chemicals, which is basically like a bitter tasting compounds to deter herbivores. Like if a deer or ants or whatever the fuck wants to eat something on the tree. I don't know if ants eat trees. They probably don't, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like they'll make their shit taste disgusting, basically, so they wouldn't want to eat it no more. So that's one thing. Like, for example, acacia trees, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Acacia trees release tannins when grazed on, making their leaves toxic. They also emit a warning gas so nearby trees can prepare. Communication. We're going to get to the electrical part, right? So the third one is electrical and root signals. They can send electrical impulses through their roots, similar to a slow nervous system. Because the nervous system, like I said, it moves real fast. If I can move my hand like this in seconds, imagine how fast the neurons are moving in order to send the signals to all the way down here to my arm to make me do this, Or even like fight or flight. If I'm feeling scared or something like that, my heart will start racing. I start sweating. My goosebumps start coming up. Hair start raising. You know, like all of these things happen, and then it's like, okay, should I run or should I defend myself at this moment? Like, that's how fast the brain works. That's how fast these neurons work. But the trees, you can think of those as like a slow moving nervous system, right? I'm going somewhere with this information. I'm going somewhere. Just wait. So basically, think of it like a slow moving nervous system. Some species use root grafting, which is where their roots physically merge and with neighboring trees to exchange nutrients and support each other. Overall, trees can help each other survive instead of competing with each other like humans be doing, right? Forests act as interconnected communities rather than isolated individuals, and deforestation disrupts these networks, harming the entire ecosystem. Deforestation, yeah, you get it. So, with all of that shit being said, right, let me go back to this page on my other notes. I want to talk about fractals. You know how people say as above, so below, as within, so without? That's like a real ass fucking thing. You can go as far as you can go as small as like the atomic level, which is like the basic building blocks of all things in life. You can go on an atomic level. You can go on a cellular level. You can go on an organism level, or you can go to like, yeah, the organism level, right? So, whew, it's good shit. So the atomic level, you know, they make up different things on a small scale. They're just, and then when you look at the cellular level, cells have organelles, just like the human body has organs. Organelles are just tiny organs, basically. That's what it means. Tiny organs. And these organs act just like the cells in the human body. So if you look at if you look at the organelles, like the cell's anatomy, if you look up the cell's anatomy, right? Cells breathe, cells produce energy, cells piss, shit. They do the same exact thing as our organs in our body, our bodily systems. And you have, Yaki says we have about, Yaki Awaken is what I'm talking about. He says we have about, black melanated people have about 150 trillion cells. But who fucking knows how many cells we got? Just know it's trillions of them hoes in us. We have trillions of cells. They are alive. They are actively working and doing things. Like, for example, the mitochondria produces the energy in the cell. The fucking the nucleus. The nucleus is like the brain of the cell. It controls and commands everything in the cell, makes the DNA, all of these things, right? So then you look at the human body. The human body has a brain. The human body has a bladder, just like the cells have a vacuole that works as a bladder. There's as within, so without, right? So you have trillions of cells within your body, trillions of tiny yous within your body making up you, and then you have you. You have you with the same exact cells, the same exact makeup, and these cells are making up you. I wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't even see me if it weren't for all these cells that's making me up. They make up the tissues in our body. They make up our organs. They make up everything. They make us who we are. Now, even if you look at on the fractal scale, if you look at the cells and you have, like, for example, like a walnut. You have a walnut that looks just like the fucking brain. You have certain trees like trees of the branches. They look like the lungs. If you look at the nerves and everything in the lungs and the veins in the lungs, you will see that it looks just like fucking trees and roots and shit. The same thing with the nervous system. Everything that you see on a micro scale is the exact same thing on a micro. Everything you see on a micro scale is the exact same thing in a macro scale. You see everything that it repeats itself. It goes in a loop. That's why you have everything, like people be talking about infinity and infinite and all this kind of shit. So yeah, everything serves its purpose. Everything is connected. Everything is a part of this larger system, and it's also a part of this smaller system. The smaller system being this microscopic shit that we can't even see, but it's still there. It still exists because it's there. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So you can see it like with a microscope and shit, but there are like certain things that you can't even see. You know what I mean? So everything is one and the same. Everything's one and the same. Just imagine, we have billions and billions of people on this planet, right? You have billions of people on this planet. You have trillions and trillions of cells making up my body. Billions and billions of people making up what? Maybe a higher power, something higher and larger than ourselves. We're all making up one thing. We're all making up this one thing, and we're all a part of this large system. Like I said, everything serves its purpose. You have certain, just like you have certain organelles and organs that do certain functions and provide you with certain nutrients and all these types of things, or like not provide you, but sorts out nutrients and takes the waste and you shit out that, you piss that out, and then you have certain nutrients that brings it in. Oh, this calcium, I need that. Oh, this is iron, let me get that. You know, like they sort out things. They make sure you're functioning, you're breathing, everything you're doing automatically. You're doing these things automatically, breathing, blinking. Your body is functioning for you. You digesting as we speak. As you sit here, you digesting shit, and your body is processing shit and moving. Your heart is beating. These things are automatic, and I believe, like, if it's automatic, I believe it's automated for a reason. We're not just like, if we just imagine if we had to think about blinking, thousands of times we blinking in a day. And we got to think every time we blink. That will take up so much extra time and space. Our bodies are meant to automatically work for us. But we have other things that are not automatic, like thinking and actually like getting up, like thinking about something or planning something out, or getting up and getting the willpower to go and do something and create a business, to go chase after your dreams, to run a marathon, or to work out. Like, all of these things are not automated because we have the choice to do whatever we decide we want to do with our bodies and with our lives, or whatever the fuck. So, with that being said, I want to say that everything goes along with nature, though. Everything goes along with nature and helps create it. That's why you have this one system that everything is doing the same exact fucking thing, either on a micro or macro scale. We can see the things that's like, we can take some blood and examine it and look at the blood cells and see what's going on with the cells and shit like that. We can see the whole thing because we're looking at it from the outside view. But we can't necessarily see what's happening on our realm from an outside view because we're in it. It's harder for us to see it. Now, if we were to go in a spaceship maybe and look down at the earth and look down at shit, then okay, maybe I can see like a little bit more. But even then, that's still from our perspective. There are so many different, like, there's a wide ass light spectrum, and we can only see a tiny fraction of actual light. As human beings, animals can see certain things that we can't even see. Especially birds, they be flying in the sky and seeing little ass worms on the ground. Like, I'm starting to think, this is just a theory of something that I just thought about this rising, but I'm thinking that dimensions are just different angles of seeing things. You have different dimensions, different angles, different perspectives of seeing different things. For example, if I'm in a relationship and I'm being abused, but I may not be able to see that I'm being abused because I'm in the relationship. But I'm talking to my friend, telling her, okay, this is what's happening. This is what happened. This is he did this, he did that, she did this, whatever the case is. And now the friend is like, you need to get out of there. That's abusive. But I'm like, huh? She can see it because she's not in it. She's not involved emotionally and attached in all these things. But I can't see it maybe because I'm in the relationship. Same thing. So, yeah. Different dimensions, different angles. Different dimensions, angles, different perspectives of seeing things. We have to realize that we can only see things from how we can see it. But we get clues. We get clues by looking at these trees and how they look just like a fucking neuron. We get clues by seeing that everything in our body is working, has its own function and its own purpose. Our lungs help us breathe and gives us oxygen to our bloodstream and helps our heartbeat and all these kind of crazy things. And then you look at animals in the world or creatures and like bugs and shit. Like when a deer is dead on the ground, you'll see like maggots and flies coming out of it, helping it decompose or eating that out, and then bam, the shit decays, it goes back into the ground, feeds the gives the earth nutrients, gives the earth's nutrients, and because it breaks down into the soil. I'm talking a lot, but I hope y'all following. Breaks down the shit, bam. So the flies helps that deer decompose faster, and then you have like different animals eat meat. Some animals eat plants, and then the animals that eat plants get the nutrients, and then the lion comes and eats okay, let's say this. Let's say you have a fucking gazelle. I believe gazelles eat are herbivores, but if not, think of an animal that is. Let's say you have a gazelle. The gazelle is over here eating all the plants and the fruits and the berries, whatever the hell they eat, and then the lion sees a gazelle and they like, bam, rips the flesh wide open, gets all the nutrients out, because that is what they eat. The gazelle eats what it eats, the lion eats what it eats, and then it's just a big old cycle of everything that happening for a reason, for actual purpose. So if every animal, every creature, everything, even the trees, if every element, water, fire, earth, air, all of these elements and all of these chemicals and all of these organisms and I think I said elements. Yeah, elements and shit. All of these things, they contribute to one thing, one whole thing. But what the fuck is humans' purpose and point here in this system? What is our purpose? Well, if everything on this planet contributes back to this society, not society, but to nature. Everything contributes back to nature and helps nature on a wider, grand scale. Everything that exists in nature contributes back to nature. They don't destroy nature. Humans are out here destroying nature, fucking up the ecosystem, fucking up the balance and homeostasis of the humans and of the planet and of the creatures of this planet. We're just fucking a whole lot of shit up. But if you just think about it, if you have any ideas, you let me know, because I wanna hear everybody else's perspectives about what like humans' purpose is. If everything else, cells down to an atomic, cellular, chemical level, up to the trees and the planet and the elements of the planet and gravity and all of these things, everything serves its own purpose to help with the homeostasis and the balance of nature. What the fuck is humans' purpose? All right, what the fuck is our purpose? So, I mean, that was a lot of talking. Trying to go back to my notes and see where I'm at. Oh yeah, everything goes along with nature. Everything adapts, everything changes, grows, dies. Some things are even reborn. Everything goes as a cyclical. Everything is cyclical in nature, right? So even the things you can't see energy, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So if everything goes along with nature and helps contribute to nature, well, shouldn't we as humans, shouldn't we be involved in nature? Shouldn't we be of nature and give back to nature, consume nature, be in nature? That would, and like I said, our bodies naturally run itself because of the ecosystem within our bodies, the systems within our bodies. It's naturally running itself. The earth is naturally doing what it's doing. So we need to naturally be doing something, contributing something, some kind of purpose. So that's what I was going to get to. The expression of our natural gifts, right? We're able to think, create, speak, dance. We're able to sing, we're able to move. We have intuition. We have energy. We're able to read energy. We're able to connect with other people. We have emotions. We have all of these things. We have a mind, we have a body, and we have a spirit. All of these things can be utilized to create. We also have desires. We also have an ego. But these things can be used to, hold on. Let me get my next page on it with. Yeah. These things can be used to create a desired reality, a desired self. These things can be used to do whatever the fuck we want to do with it. Dead ass. We are literally the gods of this realm. If our cells had consciousness, I mean, who knows? They probably do. But if our cells has a consciousness, then, it could probably be the president of all the cells in the whatever realm or region that it rules. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, it always goes back to self-knowledge, right? Self-knowledge, managing the understanding, growing, developing and learning of the self. developing yourself and becoming a better version of yourself on all aspects. Not just because you want to be the best person on the planet, but because you want to evolve, you want to develop, you want to grow, you want to understand yourself so that you can live a better quality life. You don't want to be out here, I'm pretty sure you don't want to be alone, or feeling you don't want to feel alone, or you don't want to feel unfulfilled, unhappy, in pain, or whatever the fucking case is. Everybody pretty much that I know, every human that I know of, even psychopaths, want to be something, want to become something, want to have something, want to feel happy, wants to feel joy, want to feel love, regardless of what the fuck kind of person you are. Every human needs it. You think of it's no such thing as mirror neurons, right? Just as the trees help each other survive, and it's getting cold out here. Just as the trees help each other survive and can connect with one another to support one another and provide nutrients to one another, whatever the case is, the same thing with our neurons in our brain. This thing called mirror neurons. We could look at a movie right now. We could look at a movie and see some sad ass shit happening. A character that we don't watch grow up from the beginning of the movie all the way to the end, and then bam, he died in the end of the movie. And then we start crying because we're feeling the emotion of that. We see some sad shit on TV, and now we're feeling the same emotion of sadness. We're able to connect with other human beings. That is like a mirror neurons is basically like the scientific explanation for empathy. Being an empath and being empathetic towards others, and the ability to be able to connect with people on that level, the ability to be able to understand and understand someone else and want to connect with them and feel whatever they feel. It lets you know that we're not meant to be alone. Why would we even have that? Why would we even have that ability if we were meant to be by ourselves, We're meant to connect with others. We're meant to be in groups and communities and love each other and unite and help each other grow and help build things and strengthen ourselves, even generationally. If you a piece of shit in this lifetime, your future generations that you create will be pieces of shit. Not really, but genetically, you will carry down your same traits. And then they will have to work extra hard to grow out of those traits because you passed down garbage. Even if you eat shit food, and now your child is genetically weak because you ate shit all day long, all your whole life, But yeah, I created this video so that y'all can think, to open your minds, to share some information and shit that I'm interested in, and hopefully lead to a better understanding of the purpose of humanity, or the purpose of shit, singularly and collectively. If you have any extra ideas or thoughts or whatever the fuck, perspectives, comment it below. Let me know what you think, what your perspective is, what you thought about this video, what you thought about what I said. And if you want more information and content like so, subscribe, like, share, and yeah, peace.